Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I'm going to go my review of Monday Night Raw, and welcome to your Monday Night Raw post show. Starting off the night, man, it was a big night for Monday Night Raw. We got Triple H in the middle of the ring, has a microphone in hand. Triple H says that everyone has their opinions, from people in the back to the fans, on who the greatest really is. Triple H then says tonight everyone might agree on one thing, and that is who the GOAT really is. Triple H then brings out John Cena. Cena comes out to the ring. Cena grabs a microphone and says he's been asked who he would like to face in his retirement tour. John praises the fans. John also says his goal is to leave WWE better than he had left it. John then talks about the tournament. After that, John is quickly interrupted by Dominic Mysterio. Mysterio comes out to the ring. Fans boo Mysterio. Dominic then asks Triple H, what is he going to do about what happened last week? Mysterio says that this isn't about Cena. John says that tonight he is invincible. Cena then tells Dominic, wrong place, wrong time, wrong guy. John then also tells Dominic to walk to the back. Mysterio then says that he is better than John in any era. Triple H then grabs a microphone and says, you know what? It will be Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental title against John Cena right here, right now. Which gets us into our first match of the night. It is Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against John Cena. Now, the match itself, I thought was a good match, man. Back and forth matchup between John and Dominic Mysterio, with Dominic keeping the pace of the match. Dom then hits three amigos on John Cena in the middle of the ring for a near fall, followed by John getting up. John goes for an AA on Dominic, but Dominic counters it with a DDT on John Cena for a near fall. John somehow gets up, hits a five-knuckle shuffle on Mysterio in the middle of the ring. Mysterio then exposes the turnbuckle, but Dominic then grabs a chair, fakes a chair hit. John then does the same as well, paying homage to the late, great Eddie Guerrero. Cena then goes for an AA, but the referee is taken out. John then applies an STF on Dominic in the middle of the ring, but there is no referee. Mysterio then grabs the title. Mysterio then goes to hit John with the title, but John counters it with an AA for a near fall. Mysterio then gets up, hits a 619, followed by a frog splash on John Cena. But Cena somehow gets up, hits an AA on Dominic Mysterio, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match and new WWE Intercontinental Champion is John Cena. After the match, John then thanks the fans and pretty much walks off with the Intercontinental Championship. Some interesting stuff there from John Cena. Moving on from that, speaking of John Cena, we have the first round matchup for the Last Time Is Now tournament. It is Rusev taking on Damian Priest. I thought it was a decent match, man. Back and forth matchup between Rusev and Priest, with Rusev keeping the pace of the match. Rusev then hits a fallaway slam on Priest in the middle of the ring. After that, Rusev and Priest then both exchange in the middle of the ring. Rusev then goes after the injured eye of Priest, which allowed Rusev to hit a Machka kick on Damian Priest, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match, and moving on in the Last Time Is Now tournament, or advancing in the tournament, is Rusev. Hats off to Rusev for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we got CM Punk. CM Punk comes out to the ring. Punk says that he is pissed off. Punk then quickly calls out Logan Paul. Logan Paul is here. Logan then mocks the crowd and CM Punk as well. Logan then talks about the Vision. After that, Heyman and the Vision are here, standing next to Logan Paul. Heyman says that Punk is friendless, and that nobody wants to deal with Punk. Heyman then mocks CM Punk. Jey Uso is here as well. And then we see Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring. They're surrounded by the Vision, and after that, an all-out fight breaks out between Punk, Rhodes, and Jey Uso with the Vision. Some interesting stuff there between the Vision, CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. Moving on from that, we have a women's world title matchup where Stephanie Vaquer will defend the women's world title against Raquel Rodriguez. I thought it was a decent match. Back and forth matchup between Raquel and Stephanie, with Raquel keeping the pace of the match. Raquel hits a devastating powerbomb on Stephanie in the middle of the ring for a near fall. Roxanne Perez attacks Stephanie ringside. Raquel then capitalizes on this by hitting a fallaway slam. Stephanie then hits a devil's kiss on Raquel in the middle of the ring, followed by Stephanie hitting the finish. Pins for the 3, and your winner of the match, and still women's world champion, is Stephanie Vaquer. After the match, Roxanne then attacks Stephanie. Nikki Bella, who was also ringside, attacks Roxanne. Stephanie then gets up. She looks pretty much stares down Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Nikki Bella then grabs the Women's World title and hits Stephanie Vacure from behind. Pretty much sending a message to Stephanie that she is next in line for the Women's World title. Some interesting stuff there from Nikki Bella. Moving on from that, we have another Last Time Is Now tournament matchup. It is Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Sheamus. I thought it was a decent match. Back and forth matchup between Nakamura and Sheamus, with Nakamura keeping the pace of the match. Nakamura and Sheamus both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Nakamura hitting a power bomb on Sheamus for a near fall. But Sheamus ultimately hits a brogue kick on Nakamura, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match, and moving on and advancing in the tournament, is Sheamus. Hats off to Sheamus for getting the win in this matchup. Speaking of the Last Time Is Now tournament, we have Adam Pearce announcing new matches and competitors for the Last Time Is Now tournament. And those matches and competitors are as followed. Adam Pearce announces that it would be Javon Evans, NXT Great, taking on Gunther, the return of former World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. He also announces that Solo Sikoa will have a match against a surprised opponent, if you will, or somebody that we will find out here soon. So Solo Sikoa's opponent is still yet to be announced, but we have Javon Evans taking on Gunther and Solo Sikoa versus a mystery opponent. So some interesting stuff there for Solo Sikoa. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is the main event of Monday Night Raw. It is for the women's tag team titles, where Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defend the women's tag team titles against the Kabuki Warriors. The match itself was a decent match. Back and forth matchup between the Warriors and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, with the Kabuki Warriors keeping the pace of the match. Flair applies a figure 8 in the middle of the ring, followed by Alexa hitting a Sister Abigail into a DDT. All of a sudden, Lash Legend and Nia Jax are here. They attack Alexa Bliss. This allowed Kairi Sane to hit an insane elbow on Charlotte Flair. Pins for the 3. And your winners of the match and new women's tag team champions are the Kabuki Warriors. After the match, you can see Nia Jax and Lash Legend attack Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. The Kabuki Warriors were having a stare down with Nia Jax and Lash Legend, but then all of a sudden Kabuki Warriors then attack Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair in the middle of the ring. Io Sky's music hits. She comes out to the ring. She attacks the Kabuki Warriors, but Lash Legend end up attacking Io Sky. And then out of nowhere, we get the return of none other than Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley comes out to the ring wearing her signature mask, if you will, from the nose injury that she sustained. Rhea comes out to the ring. She attacks Lash Legend and the Kabuki Warriors, as well as Nia Jax, and then she grabs a microphone and says, Wargames. So it looks like we're going to have the Wargames matchup here between Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky taking on the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. Some interesting stuff there for the women's Wargames matchup. Couple of things I'm going to talk about with you guys, man, when it pertains to Monday Night Raw before I get the hell up out of here. Number one, was it a solid show? Yes, it was. There was a lot of shit that happened last night on Raw. A lot. Obviously, the elephant in the room, John Cena. This was John Cena's, hometown return. Obviously, Monday Night Raw was live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts last night. The home, pretty much, of John Cena. We had Triple H come out to start the show, pretty much hyping up John Cena, saying that John Cena is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And then we see John Cena come out to the ring, man. The fans erupted. And then we see the moment with Dominic Mysterio. Now, this was something where Dominic Mysterio, there was a rumor going on leading up to Monday Night Raw that Dominic Mysterio was going to be in some kind of matchup against John Cena, possibly for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's exactly what happened, where we did get John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Was it a solid match? Yeah, it was a solid match. And we had John Cena win the Intercontinental Championship, which made him a Grand Slam champion as well. This is my thing with that situation, with John winning the Intercontinental Championship. We see John, before the match even happened, John was talking about the tournament. He was talking about pretty much, it seemingly seems as if NXT is going to have a decent presence in this Last Time Is Now's tournament. John's, he's talking about the future of WWE, giving a younger talent the opportunity to get the shine they deserve, a younger talent that's willing to put the time in and eventually be the future of WWE. So John was really hinting, at least in my opinion, was hinting around that, they're really looking for somebody within the confines of NXT to possibly be the person that goes into the finals facing against John Cena as John Cena's final opponent at Saturday Night's Main Event in December. I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. I mean, we had the announcement from Adam Pearce last night that Javon Evans will be in a matchup in the tournament against the return of former World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. I'm excited to see Gunther return. But Javon Evans, man, for what it's worth, I know you guys, if you guys have been watching WWE's product as of late, the matchup that Javon Evans had was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was the former U.S. champion, and he was having the open challenges. And that matchup that Zayn had with Javon Evans, man, it was absolutely awesome. Javon Evans is a guy that has all the talent in the world. He really does. And I'm telling you right now, this matchup between Javon Evans and Gunther is going to be a barn burner, man. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The fact that, Javon Evans is going to be taking some serious chops from Gunther, man. That guy's going to be flying all over the ring. He's very athletic, very acrobatic. It's going to be one hell of a match here between Javon Evans and Gunther. So I was excited with the announcement of Javon Evans being in this tournament. But we also get the announcement of Gunther. Now, this is the thing, man. A lot of people, ever since this tournament was announced, was wondering, okay, is Gunther going to be in this tournament? If Gunther's in this tournament, he's going to be for sure in the finals against John Cena. I don't know if that's going to be the case, bro. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if John Cena, let's say, now that John has pretty much won the Intercontinental Championship, let's say John holds on to that belt until we get to Saturday Night's Main Event, his last match. And the title obviously will be on the line, the Intercontinental Championship. Do you think it would be a downgrade for Gunther to once again become the Intercontinental Champion after he was a former World Heavyweight Champion? I'm not trying to disrespect the Intercontinental Championship. I just think it's below Gunther a little bit. Why are we running it back if Gunther does beat John Cena and not only beats John, but also becomes the Intercontinental Champion? I just think it's just not there for Gunther to be in the finals if John does, in fact, carry that Intercontinental Championship until we get into his last match. With that being said, if John does go into his final match carrying the Intercontinental Championship, I mean, whoever this person is going to be as far as the person that's going up against John, let's say it's somebody from NXT. Let's say, for example, it's Javon Evans or Obafemi. You want to talk about a huge undertaking, bro, for whoever that individual is going into this match. I mean, there's a lot. You want to talk about pressure, man. The being on the marquee, being John Cena's final opponent, possibility of you winning the Intercontinental Championship, beating John Cena in his final match. I mean, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, bro. A lot. A lot of people, even myself included, Obafemi. Obafemi's been talked about a lot as well as being John's final opponent. I know Obafemi wants to have a match with John before John rides off into the sunset and fully retires. I'm all for Obafemi. I think Obafemi would be the future of this business. I think Obafemi would be a great, opponent for John. I really do. But like I said, man, the amount of pressure that's going to come with this, if it's somebody from NXT, it's a lot of goddamn pressure, man. Being on the marquee, the poster for this match, being John Cena's final opponent, the fact that you might retire John Cena, the fact that the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line if John has the belt till then, in that matchup, it's a huge undertaking, man. For anybody, any individual going into that match, it's a huge accomplishment if you're able to beat John and become Intercontinental Champion, especially if you're coming up from the ranks from NXT. Now, when John was talking about the future and the future of this business, I mean, for anybody with a decent brain cell in their mind would probably think, okay, well, maybe they're leaning a little bit more towards NXT as far as being the future of this business. Do I see Gunther winning and being in the finals? I don't know, bro. To be honest with you guys, I don't know. We know we have some surprised opponents. I think LA Knight has a surprised opponent this week. Solo Sikoa has the mystery opponent as well. I mean, there has to be some more names from NXT. I'm hoping Obafemi is in the tournament. I'm hoping. I know LA Knight is in the tournament. Obviously, he has a matchup against a mystery opponent. It could be Obafemi. It could be Solo Sikoa versus Obafemi. We don't know. But I would put Obafemi in the tournament. I don't know what he's doing currently, but again, I would put him in the tournament. So, with John winning the title, it kind of throws a curveball as far as I don't think Gunther's going to be in the finals if John has the title leading into his last match. Now, speaking of the Intercontinental Championship, a lot of people are saying, okay, well, they might run this back. Maybe next week, or maybe not next week, but maybe Survivor Series, where it might be Dominic Mysterio in San Diego taking on John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, to me, with the fact that Survivor Series is going to be in San Diego, I would highly doubt that we're not. I'm pretty much saying we're going to be seeing Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio in some kind of capacity at Survivor Series. It's in San Diego. Both Mysterios are from the San Diego area. There's no way in hell that you got one of your biggest stars in the company from San Diego not be a part of this card. A lot of people are also pitching the idea, which I'm not against it. I know some people are like, oh, we don't need this, we don't need that. I'm not against at all there being a triple threat match here where John defends the Intercontinental Championship against Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. I'm not against it at all, to be honest with you. Now, again, it also correlates into this year's Wargames as well, which I will talk about here in a little bit. But if John, is going to hold on to the Intercontinental Championship, like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if Gunther's going to be the guy. I think it has to be somebody from NXT, bro. To be honest with you, whether it's an Obafemi, I'm not really up to the knowledge of everybody that's on the NXT roster, but someone like Obafemi, I don't know if you want to throw in someone like Ricky Starks. I don't know if you want to throw in someone like an Ethan Page or who knows, bro. I'm not completely familiar with the current landscape of NXT, but Obafemi is a big time name. He was a great champion for them. Obafemi is a guy that, could carry this company on his back, for sure. And hopefully he is in the tournament. Absolutely. I told you guys, man, if WWE does this correctly, this could be one of the biggest tournaments that we've seen in the States for a very long time. And I stand on business with that. Absolutely. There could be some household names in this tournament. I'm excited for the Gunther and Javon Evans match as well, man. I think it's going to be a really, really good matchup. I'm a big fan of Gunther. It's great to see him back into the fold again. Javon Evans, I'm definitely a fan. I think Javon Evans is severely underrated. The kid's got all the talent in the world, man. That match he had with Sami Zayn was absolutely incredible. I can only imagine what we're going to see between the likes of Javon Evans and Gunther in the middle of the ring. It's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm excited for that matchup as well. But again, man, to me, if I had to predict what might happen, I don't know. And again, I don't know if John is going to carry the Intercontinental Championship until we get to John's last match. My thing is, I think Dominic's going to want a rematch, obviously. This is the other thing, too. I think WWE is not really quite done with Dominic being the Intercontinental Champion. I just don't think that's the case. To me, I said this last week, that there should be a program here between Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Whether it's for the Intercontinental Championship or it's for the AAA Mega Championship, because, I pitched an idea where you can do it for the AAA Championship and you can have Rey go over, and Rey can really be an ambassador for the working relationship here between AAA and WWE. Rey's a household name over there as well. So, again, this could be something where it could be good for business if Rey does go up against Dominic for the AAA Championship and Rey becomes the new AAA Championship. He strengthens that partnership between AAA and WWE if he becomes the AAA champion and kind of be an ambassador for both, to be honest. Dominic Mysterio, I can see him running it back with John. There could be a singles match probably in the works between Dominic and John Cena at this year's Survivor Series live from San Diego at the Padres Stadium. It would be a big-time deal. So there's no way WWE would be complete and utter dumbasses if they don't have at least Rey Mysterio or Dominic Mysterio a part of Survivor Series, knowing the fact that they're going to be in San Diego, California. So, there has to be some kind of way that you slot those guys into some kind of match or program for Survivor Series. No doubt. They'd be dumbasses not to do that. So, like I said, we have John winning the Intercontinental Championship, and we also have the tournament. Fantastic. And then we get to what happened last night with the Wargames situation. Now, I'm going to start with the men. We know right now that on paper it looks like it's going to be maybe 4-on-4. It could change to 5-on-5. We roughly got about 2 weeks left until we get to Survivor Series. So we get to what happened last night with CM Punk in the middle of the ring. You had the Vision surround CM Punk in the middle of the ring. And then you see Jey Uso rush into the ring, and then you see the likes of Cody Rhodes. And then we see Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and CM Punk backstage, and Punk is telling Pierce that he's got his team. He's got his guys for War Games. And then Regal comes out of nowhere, which was a great moment, and tells Adam Pearce that it's on. It's War Games. He always, it's just awesome coming from William Regal. But Regal announces War Games. So right now on paper, we have the likes of Division with Breakker, Reed, and Logan Paul going up against Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. Now, there's going to be at least one more person for each team, bro. And that's where a lot of people are up in arms on who really is this going to be. I'm all over the place with this War Games matchup, bro. For the men's side of the War Games, I'm absolutely all over the place with this because there's a lot of different scenarios that you could put into this matchup that could make sense or possibly not make sense. Cody Rhodes being in this matchup has a lot of people confused because there's really nobody on the other side of the fence that Cody Rhodes has really been dealing with as far as Division are concerned. He hasn't really been dealing with Seth that much. Yes, he had the matchup against Seth at Crown Jewel. That's only because it was title, champion versus champion. I get it. He hasn't had a whole lot of work with Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. So a lot of people were kind of confused on why is Cody Rhodes in this War Games matchup. Now, it would have made a hell of a lot more sense if Cody Rhodes was on the babyface team going up against Division if Division also acquired Drew McIntyre to be a part of their team as well. Because obviously there's a lot of heat there between McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. But McIntyre is suspended indefinitely. And McIntyre is going to be off the scene for a little bit because he's, shooting a movie. I believe it's like Highlander or something like that, but he's shooting a movie. So he's going to be off the scene for a little bit. So there's no Drew McIntyre. So if we're looking at the heel side of things for War Games, we have Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul. Now, I don't know if Brock Lesnar's coming in. I have no idea. There's Brock Lesnar. There's also been rumors and speculation of Austin Theory. Maybe. But then if you're looking at the likes of, Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and possibly Brock Lesnar, then you have to ask yourself, well, who's going to be the fourth for the baby faces? Is it going to be Roman? Is it going to be Jimmy Uso? Is it going to be, hell, I don't know, maybe LA Knight? Honestly, for what it's worth, I am surprised that LA Knight is not a part of this year's War Games as of right now. LA Knight's had a lot of matches for the past few months dealing with back and forth with Division, whether it's, LA Knight versus Braun Breaker, LA Knight versus Bronson Reed, LA Knight teaming up with Jey Uso to take on the Vision. I mean, he's been in a lot of situations with the Vision. Even when Seth Rollins was there, LA Knight had issues with Seth Rollins. So, I mean, it is kind of shocking that we haven't even got any inkling at all right now that LA Knight's going to be the number 4th guy for the babyface team right now. We know that LA Knight is in the last time is now tournament, but there's been no inkling at all that LA Knight is going to be joining the babyfaces to go up against Division at this year's War Games. We have no idea if that's happening at all. And then there's also Roman Reigns. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Roman might not be there. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Roman said he's not going to come back till December, yada, yada, yada. And maybe there's too much star power for Survivor Series. Look, bro, I don't give a rat's ass about the star power on this show. This show should be loaded with star power. It's, one of the 4 best pay-per-views for WWE every year. It should be loaded. This War Games is going to be incredible. Being at the Padres Stadium, this should be a spectacle. And my thing is, bro, I mean, look at the narrative. Could you imagine if we had the likes of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Brock Lesnar, and then on the other side of the fence, you got Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Imagine. You know what I mean? Now, do I think John Cena is going to be a part of this year's War Games? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I know I mentioned something about that earlier. I don't think John's going to be a part of this year's War Games. I think John, if anything, would possibly be defending the Intercontinental Championship at this year's Survivor Series against Dominic Mysterio or Rey Mysterio or a possible triple threat. If I had to guess. I don't really see John being a part of this year's War Games. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. So like I said, man, if I was WWE, and I made comments about this last week and this week, or the week prior, that if I was WWE, I would be stacking the deck for this year's War Games. I don't give a damn about star power, man. I would be putting Roman in the War Games match, Jay. It'll be Roman, Jay, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. There's your 4. Against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Brock Lesnar. To be honest with you. Now, they could do 5-on-5. We don't know yet. The only thing is that, man, we got 2 weeks until we get to Survivor Series. So, I mean, this shit has to pick up pace, man. So, if anything, I think it's going to be a 4-on-4. And the reason why I'm saying that is because what happened in the main event with the women. After the matchup between the Kabuki Warriors and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag team titles, we saw Nia Jax and Lash Legend attack Bliss and Flair. We also saw the Kabuki Warriors also attack Bliss and Flair. And then we see the likes of Io Sky coming out to the ring to help Flair and Bliss. And then we also see the return of none other than Rhea Ripley. Ripley comes out to the ring. She saves Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. She grabs the microphone and says and screams, War Games. So we have our women's War Games matchup where it's going to be 4-on-4. I think, the men's side of War Games as well might be adopting that same 4-on-4 concept for the men's War Games matchup. For the women, we got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Flair, and Bliss on one side. On the other side, we have Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors. And right now, it's looking the same thing for the men, where it's going to be 4-on-4. Am I against it? No. I'm not against it at all. I mean, look, for what it's worth, man, for the men's War Games matchup, I'd rather have it be what it is right now than the MFTs versus the Wide Six. To be honest with you. It might be a hot take for some people, but I did not want to see the MFTs take on the Wide Six in a War Games matchup. I can give a rat's ass about that. To be honest with you, I really don't give a shit about that match. I don't. Now, again, like I mentioned earlier, Solo Sikoa also has a matchup in the Last Time Is Now tournament. This also could set up some kind of feud here between, or intensify the feud between the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. We could see the return of Uncle Howdy taking on Solo in this Last Time Is Now tournament. Who knows? LA Knight is also having a mystery opponent as well. And that's why I brought up Obafemi. And what John said earlier in the night, that, he gave off a lot of, vibes of NXT. He's really looking for the future of the company, the future of the business. And to me, it just spoke NXT. And yeah, like I said, I'm not really 100% familiar with the roster on NXT right now, but Obafemi is a name coming out the gate right now, man, that's a strong candidate to be in this tournament and possibly go to the finals if he's actually going to be in this tournament. You know what I mean? And we haven't had a lot of selections as far as NXT talent is concerned to be a part of this tournament. We got Javon Evans as of right now, from what I understand. So there has to be more NXT talent joining this tournament. We can't just have one guy. So they need to change that. So we need to add more guys to this tournament from the side of NXT. Absolutely. But I'm telling you right now, man, whoever this person's going to be, as far as winning the tournament and being John Cena's final opponent, if it is somebody from NXT, it is a huge, huge undertaking. Huge undertaking. If WWE does it right, it can be done very well, put together very well. The finish could be absolutely incredible. And, I mean, it's going to do a lot for the person that if they do, in fact, beat John Cena in their final match, in John's final match. It's a huge undertaking, man. It's a lot going into that matchup, man. So, to me, I mean, if Obafemi does get into the tournament, he would have to be one of the favorites. The reason why I'm not so high on Gunther winning the tournament, man, is because right now John's holding the Intercontinental Championship. If John takes that belt into his last match, and it is Gunther, I just think the Intercontinental title is below Gunther right now. It's like you're taking 20 steps back just to go forward. Why do you want the Intercontinental Championship again when you've already had it for a while? And then you were a former two-time World Heavyweight Champion? So, I mean, is it really worth going back just to have the Intercontinental Championship again? I don't know. I don't know if Gunther's going to be the guy that's going to be in the finals. I know a lot of people are saying, it should be, it should be Gunther. It should be Gunther. I don't know, bro. Am I against Gunther versus John? No. I think John is one of the GOATs. To be honest with you, I think Gunther's fantastic. I'm a big fan of Gunther, but for the Intercontinental Championship, if it's on the line, I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, would I be against seeing Gunther versus Obafemi? Hell no. I think if we got some kind of matchup here, like a semifinal matchup between Obafemi and Gunther, oh, dude, take my money. Because those two guys are going to tear the fucking house down. If we got a finals, like a semifinal between Gunther and Obafemi, bro, wow. Wow. They better put that shit on pay-per-view or a PLE or some shit, bro, because that match is going to sell like fucking hotcakes, bro. I'm telling you right now. That's why I said Obafemi needs to be in this tournament, man. He does. I can totally see a semifinal matchup between Gunther and Obafemi. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because do I think Javon Evans is going to beat Gunther? I mean, anything can happen. I'm not sitting here saying that Javon Evans could not beat Gunther. But if we get Gunther making into the semifinals and we have Obafemi on the other side of that tournament and he makes it to the semifinals, Obafemi versus Gunther, man, would be one hell of a match. Hell of a match. And it should be on a PLE somewhere, bro, because that match is going to sell like hotcakes, bro. Seriously. So, again, it's going to be very telling to see who else is in this tournament. We got some decent names so far. We got Sheamus, Nakamura. We also got, Damian Priest and Rusev. We also got the announcement of LA Knight being in this tournament, Solo Sikoa being in this tournament, Javon Evans being in this tournament. So, Gunther, you know what I mean? So, there's a lot of names that are starting to stack the deck in this tournament. So, I'm all excited for it, man. Like I said, this tournament could be one of the best tournaments we've seen in the States for a very long time. Better than the Owen and better than the Continental Classic. Absolutely. If they do it correctly. Absolutely. Do I trust WWE to do the right thing? I don't think so. But we're going to see how it plays out, man. I mean, it's definitely exciting. And people are going to want to watch, Raw and SmackDown because they want to know who's going to win those tournament matches. Especially with the surprises or the mystery opponents that these certain individuals are going to have, like Solo and LA Knight. It gets people intrigued. It gets people wanting to watch, okay, what the hell is going on? Who's this person going to face? We also have Dragunov having these U.S. Open challenges every week on SmackDown as well. It's one of the best things, if not the best thing going on SmackDown. So it also gets people excited for SmackDown as well. So, again, man, I'm locked in for it, man. I think it's great. I think it's great for Raw and SmackDown. It's great for NXT. And like I said before, man, just the way that John was talking to open the show about this tournament, to me, he was just really, really talking about NXT, the future of this business, the future of this company. It's not going to be a veteran, man. It's not going to be somebody that's been around for like 10 years or 15 years. This is somebody that's in NXT, in their developmental program, that's on NXT, that's coming up, that WWE has their eyes on, and that believe that person could be the future of this business for the next 20, 25 years. I don't see that with a Sheamus. I don't see that with a Nakamura. I don't see that with a vet. You know what I mean? A person that's been around 10, 15 years. I think it should go to somebody within NXT. And my pick from NXT, if they decide to put that person in the tournament, would be Obafemi. I think Obafemi would make a strong case to make it to the finals. And I predict my semifinal match, if he's in the tournament, which would be Gunther versus Obafemi. I think it would be an incredible match, man. It'd be one hell of a match. And that match should be on the PLE if it is the semifinals for the Last Time Is Now tournament. But Obafemi needs to be in this tournament. Absolutely. Some people even said Randy Orton. What's Orton doing? He should be in this tournament. Yeah. Absolutely. Orton should be in the tournament. Why not? He ain't really doing anything. He's been, off the scene for a little while now. No one knows what the hell's going on with Orton. So, again, that's also a possibility if they want to go that route. Why not? There's some history there between Orton and Cena. Why not? You know what I mean? It's just the way that people want, who they want to see. And that's the best thing about it. That's why I said it's must-see television, man. This tournament's going to be incredible. But, like I said, Obafemi needs to be in this tournament. And my prediction for a semifinal match, or at least a match I would like to see, and I think a lot of people would be in agreement with me on this, would be Gunther versus Obafemi. Absolutely. That would be a hell of a match, and a match that can main event, hell, even any PLE, possibly a WrestleMania one day. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. But, again, Monday Night Raw was not bad. I'm not going to sit here and say it was the greatest Monday Night Raw I've ever seen, but it damn sure was not the worst. A lot of things were going on. Obviously, the big elephant in the room being John Cena's final appearance in Boston. Him also winning the Intercontinental Championship was a big-time deal, not only for John, but the fans of WWE as well. And we're pretty much setting the stage for War Games, man. We have Punk, Rhodes, and Jey Uso seemingly on the same team going up against The Vision and Logan Paul. And we also get the announcement of the women's War Games matchup where it will be Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss teaming up with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors. So it looks like we are on the road to this year's War Games. But with that being said, though, this is my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.